Sponsor time! Hey guys, before today's video, let's talk about Amino, which is a free app you can download for both Android and iOS. Amino is a community app where you can connect with people all over the world that share your fandom, interests, opinions, pretty much anything. You can go ahead and join a ton of different Aminos. There is even one for How to Train Your Dragon that you can join as well. This Amino features everything from fan art to quizzes, and you can even create your own Amino. And as I've mentioned before, I actually did create my own Amino, which has been really flourishing after the first video. So if you want to hang out and talk about How to Train Your Dragon, consider joining the How to Train Your Dragon Amino and stopping by mine as well. I just made a new poll on my Amino that you can go ahead and check out and cast your vote. You can check out posts and you can post pretty much anything you want as well. There is so much to explore. So what are you waiting for? Follow the links in the description or at the pinned comment, and I hope to see you. Let's get on to the video. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Silver Willowwing and today we're gonna take a look at the top 10 racing dragons in School of Dragons. This is a full list of all the 60 dragons currently in game. So I will be going over every single dragon before we get to the actual top 10, so you guys will know exactly where the dragons rank on the scale of being the best racing dragon. So these results are achieved through flying with each dragon through the same level. I decided on picking Trench Dive, so I flew with every dragon through Trench Dive, and then I took the fastest lap on that race on each dragon, and that was my result. Trench Dive is a versatile map because it has both stretches of just flying straight, but it also has some tight turns, so it really puts the dragon to the test and gives us the best idea of the capabilities each dragon have. As something new, I have included a level of difficulty scale that goes from easy to medium to hard. This kind of gives you an idea of the level of skill it takes to ride these dragons. And this scale is based on my observation when I flew with all the dragons, which one I found really easy and just, you know, like a dream to ride, and the ones that were more challenging, so they were medium, and the ones that were actually really hard. Most of the hard dragons is because of the turning or the pitch. If it's very slow, you really have to kind of think before you actually fly this dragon. So this kind of guidelines to help you pick out which dragon will be best for you. Of course, all dragons can be ridden, so this is just a smaller guideline in case you're curious about the difficulty of each dragon. There's currently 61 dragons in game, but since the Speed Stinger can't fly, it will not be ranked here.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
There's been a lot of rebalances for the dragons since the previous list, so the results would be very different, and that's also why I decided that it was time to make a new list, because so many updates have occurred and so many new dragons have arrived, so it was definitely the time to do an updated list. So this is the most current one and the most accurate one at this point right now. So let's just get to it. 60, the Terrible Terror. 59, the Flame Whipper. 58, the Prickle Boggle. 57, the Hobblegrunt. The Hobblegrunt is a very hard dragon to fly with. The Hobblegrunt is the only dragon where I had to slow down during the turns. I tried my best to avoid it to really get the raw idea of the speed and ability of this dragon, but it was simply impossible to make these tight turns with the Hobblegrunt. It is a really hard dragon to fly with because it has such a terrible turn rate, to put it lightly. 56, Snaptrapper. The Snaptrapper also has a rather slow turn, but it's not as bad, not nearly as bad as the Hobblegrunt, so it's still somewhat pleasant dragon to fly with, but it provides a little bit of a challenge. 55, Rumpelhorn. 54, Buffalord. 53, Thunderpede. 52, Armorwing. 51, Snafflefang. 50, Scaldron. The Squadron is truly a dream to ride. It moves so well, it turns just perfectly, it does exactly what you tell it to. It's really a shame that this dragon isn't faster because it's one of my favorites. It's just really pleasant to ride with. 49, Grunkle. 48, Tide Glider. 47, Hideous Sibbleback. 46, Mold Ruffle. 45, Deadly Nada. 44, Smothering Smoke Breath. 43, Elder Sentinel. 42, Timberjack. 41, Shovel Helm. 40, Screaming Death. 39, Triple Strike. 38, Sentinel. 37, Fireworm Queen. 36, Raincutter. The Raincutter has a very sensitive turning, so you only have to click a little bit and then the dragon will move very powerfully. So that's something to keep in mind when riding this dragon, that you have to be very gentle compared to the other dragons, because it is so sensitive when it turns. 35, Hot Burgle. 34, Bone Napper. 33, Whispering Death. 32, Devilish Dervish. 31, Grunsicle. 30, Singe Tail. 29, Sliquifier. The Sliquifier has an incredibly slow turn, similar to the Hopplegrunt. Not as bad, but still very bad, which makes the Sliquifier a really challenging dragon to actually fly around with. You have to really time your turns and know the level before you fly it, because you have to prepare to make that vast turn before actually being able to make it. So it's a very challenging dragon to race with. 28, Thunderdrum. 27, Eruptidon. 26, Sweet Death. 25, Mudraker. 24, Stormcutter. The Stormcutter is a very good dragon to race with. It turns very well and pitches very well, but sadly it isn't faster. I really wish this dragon was faster because it is one of my favorites, but it just isn't. 23, Catastrophic Quaken. 22, Grim Gnasher. 21, Changewing. 20, Death Song. 19, Fire Terror. 18, Dramelion. 17, Monstrous Nightmare. The Monstrous Nightmare has one of the absolute most sensitive turns out of all the dragons. It just almost spins around if you just click a little bit to the left or right. So you really gotta be careful with flying with this dragon because it is super sensitive on the turns. 16, Grapple Grounder. 15, Night Terror. 14, Shockjaw. 13, Windwalker. 12, Silver Phantom. The Silver Phantom has slightly slower turns, so it's not too challenging, but it does provide a little bit more of a challenge compared to some of the more easier dragons. 11, the Scott Claw. So now we're moving up to the top 10. These are the absolute fastest dragons in game currently. So let's get to it. 10, Slither Song. 9, Sand Wraith. 8. Snow Wraith. The Snow Wraith was previously one of the fastest dragons in game, so I was really shocked to see these results, that it has moved so far down the list. And the Snow Wraith also has a rather slow turn a little bit, so it's a little bit more challenging to fly with than dragons like the Sand Wraith, for example. So it's not the best dragon to race with, but it is quite decent, but it's not as fast as it used to be. It has been surpassed by several other dragons, so that's very interesting. 7. Woolly Howl. 6. Razor Whip. 5. Skrill. 4. Shivertooth. 3. Tufoomerang. This was such a stunner to me when I was racing with this dragon. First of all, it was incredibly hard because the Tufoomerang has such a slow turn that you just really have to prepare and really know the dragon very well to actually make it through a level. And then when I saw the result that this dragon is actually one of the fastest in games, I was so stunned. I always liked the Tufoomerang and I always wanted to use it as a main racing dragon, but it was always too hard and too slow. But now it's actually very fast, but it's still very hard to fly with because the turns are ultimately very hard to navigate through. But I'll see it as a challenge and probably pick some races with Tufoomerang from now on. 2. Flightmare. The Flightmare has always been a fast dragon, and it has actually made its way almost to the top as the fastest dragons apart from the membership dragon, which of course is number 1, Toothless. Toothless is a clear winner of this test, of these test results, and it comes as no surprise because of course the Night Fury is the fastest dragon to ever exist in the franchise, at least in School of Dragons. So naturally, Toothless is number 1. It's a no surprise. But a lot of the other results actually surprised me quite a lot, and I'm sure will surprise some of you guys as well. But these results are as accurate as I could make them. I flew with 100% happy dragons, no saddles, the same armor, and I didn't bump into anything. If I bumped into something, I restarted the level to make sure that every dragon got a fair chance at getting a higher score. So these are the results, and they're as accurate as they get. So there you have it. Quite surprising, but also quite interesting. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It took a lot of time to test out all these dragons, so I hope you appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to make this video for you guys. I love making these updates on the racing dragons, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching them. So thank you so very much. Feel free to check out my other How to Train Your Dragon videos. I have a few, and hopefully I will see you next time. So long, dragon riders.